Hello and welcome to today's video. If you're new here, welcome, and if you've been here before, I am glad you're back. So I have talked about this before, but the place I live in has the most beautiful sunsets, and also the most beautiful sunsets that you have during the year are usually in September and October. Also, from here, I see mainland UK, so I thought of a city landscape kind of deal. There are not many big buildings, but that's what I kind of had in mind when I started designing these. And you probably already know how they look because you have seen the, thumbnail. But oh my god, I am in love with how this came out. Just sunsets are just so gorgeous, and we can actually see the sunset from our living room, and it's so beautiful. Yeah, I decided to kind of do something inspired by that. I really hope you like it. I know it's not necessarily an autumn kind of thing, but for me, as I said, September, October are the best sunsets that I've ever seen, and I thought I'm just gonna try to, make a sunset. Again, I know I've done this before, but that was a summer sunset. That was different. This is a city sunset. That was like, just seaside kind of thing. But yeah, I really hope you're gonna enjoy this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe with the notification bells on, if you want to. And let me know what you thought about it in the comments. All right, okay, let's get started. So I'm starting off with 3 tips, and I'm gonna go in with I-57 Sassy Yellow from Ink London, and then I-16 Classic Red and I-11. This one doesn't have a fancy name, so it's just that. Then Hot Tips Beauty Cast Iron Jasmine, and then I'm going in with El Ombre brush from Ink London, and that's gonna obviously be for the ombre. Next step is putting some yellow in the middle of the nail, and then I'm going in with orange on both sides and with red right at the edges. If you do this on a client, I would recommend the top parts to put them on with a different brush, not the brush from the bottle, because that's gonna just flood the cuticles, so you don't want that. Anyway, exactly how we did in the other sunset video that I've done is we just go back and forth, try to like melt those colors together. They don't have to be perfect because, again, this is gonna be a sky, so you have some highlights, some shadows. That means you have some clouds there. Some texture is always really good, especially that the bottom part is going to be water, so I'm going to try to make that darker than the rest. And I'm obviously going in with the second coat now and doing exactly the same thing. The second coat is just going to make those colors more vivid. I don't know if they were extremely necessary to have a second coat on this, but I do think it just cleaned up a lot of the mess that maybe I didn't like. I don't know. It gives you a chance. So also, if you do go on one nail with the second coat, I would say you have to go on all of them. Then with the dotting tool, this is like a on the bigger side of a dotting tool. I don't think it's the biggest one I have, but yeah, it's a bit bigger. I'm just gonna place a dot of white, because why not? And then with the glitter bells, I have no idea what brush that is, and this one is the middle liner. You've seen both of these brushes many times before, so yeah. I'm just gonna cover that with yellow, and the reason I put that white underneath that yellow is because I wanted that sun to pop out a bit. I really wanted that to be a bit lighter than the rest, so I thought, why not do that. And then I took a bit of that gel polish and I started doing some lines around the edges of the sun, just to make it look like it's a very hot evening kind of sun. I don't know how to explain it, but you see what I mean. it is hot. It is, even if it is an autumn kind of sunset, you still have really warm evenings. So yeah. Then I'm going in with the velvet mat and I'm gonna apply that all over the nail and cure it. I've done everything up until now except for the sun on all 3 nails, as you can see, and I applied the matte top coat. And then I'm going in with some black gel paint, the Hot Tips Beauty one, and I'm starting to like fill in those I'm starting to paint some buildings basically, and I'm filling them in with the thicker brush because it's easier and you don't have to spend the same amount of time. So, just there you go. That was so quick. It's actually really quick in real life as well. So yeah, and then I started bringing little details on the tops of the buildings, because buildings are never flat on the top. They always have like an antenna or another little door, or I don't know. So I just decided to add some more details on the tops of the buildings, and I really think that they look good now, in my opinion. Again, your opinion can be different than mine, but I'm happy. But yeah, I'm filling in all of those little buildings and trying to like make them as squarish, well, as even as possible. They don't have to be perfectly even, because at the end of the day, no one's gonna look that close. I always think that people are gonna look that close, but they're not. I don't know what's on the top of that building, honestly. I made something. And then with that black gel paint again, I am putting a very, very small amount on the bottom of the, paint thing, the painting. And this is going to be our shadows in the water. So I'm putting a very small amount without curing either. I'm going to keep it uncured for a second. The top part I cured already, by the way, so that's nice and it's not going to move from there. But on the bottom part, without curing, I'm going to take some of that white gel paint and that El Ombre brush, and you can see I'm just kind of adding a bit of like detail on the water. And because that gel paint is not cured underneath, it's gonna bring some grays in there, so it's not just gonna be white and that's it. So yeah, just play with it, don't overdo it, leave those shadows to still be there a little bit. And then I decided to bring some more yellow and orange, but was not a fan of that, so I just left it. I didn't do that on the next ones. Now I'm removing the sticky layer, because I'm gonna apply some details on the buildings. So I went around where the sun was, I went around to kind of add some white details on that side, and then I added some like building lights. But this is something that I just threw on there, like it's not anything very even, very nice, because from a distance again looks alright. So why would you even try to do it the same way? And then I kind of measured them together and I moved on to the next nail. Yeah, I apparently was happy with that. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing the outline, which I found to be the easiest thing. And then I decided to make like one of those advertisement things on the top of that building. I don't know. You can add all kinds of things and all kinds of shapes on the buildings. You can really have some fun with this. And then obviously I went in to fill in those buildings with black again. I'm gonna do exactly the same thing on all 3 nails. I just thought I would show you all 3 because, well, I filmed all 3, so I don't know. If you don't want to watch, just skip to the end, I guess. Oh God. So yeah, I'm doing that, and then I'm trying to like clean up everything, all the edges, all the corners. I need them to be nice and sharp. And then I'm bringing in some more details on the roofs, because why not? It could be those details from the buildings behind, or, they don't have to be necessarily from this building in the front. You could have a couple of buildings mashed up into the same shape, no, shadow, there you go. And then I went in again with that white gel paint and with a very, very small amount. So I'm not putting a lot at all. And you can make it more wavy or you can leave it as is, it doesn't matter. Then moving on again to the little white outlines. I just felt like that these brought a bit more detail, so that's why I've done it. You can even make little dots here if you want. I just went with lines because I thought that's a bit more cartoony, and it's a bit more easy to do, so yeah. And then here I'm out of focus. Well done. I actually moved back in. It's awesome. I don't know what building this is. I guess it could be like a hospital or something. I don't know. It's quite a big building, so it's either a hospital or a casino or hotel. I don't know. Just, yeah, it's a big building. That's all I know. Again, it could be just, you know, a few buildings mashed into one. It doesn't have to be the same one, but I like to think it's one big building. So, God. So yeah, I'm filling in that thing again. Be very careful on the edges. Try to make them as even as possible. This is a very good exercise to paint small objects. So to keep in mind, you know, edges and things. It's really good for your muscle memory, especially that it repeats over a few nails. So I would recommend to do this. Honestly, I would recommend you recreating these, and I really hope you will. Then again, with basically very little paint on my brush, I am just bringing in those shadows. And I don't know if you noticed, but I'm trying to make them longer than the actual buildings, so because shadows would be a bit longer. And then again, white, bringing that in, out of focus. Of course I'm out of focus, because why would I be in focus? Like, you don't need to see, do you? You know by now what I'm doing. Oh yeah, and that line that I did with the white exactly at the base of the buildings, it's like a horizon line, so it's basically you're gonna have a lot more light on there, and I decided to make it like that, so to just, you know, make the water even more obvious. But yeah, we do this, and then velvet matte. I apply one coat of that, cure it, and then we're done. So these are all done now, and I am in love with how they came out. Look at that. I would be sitting on the other side of this like water type thing and just watch this. Yep, I would probably spend my whole life just doing that, because I really, really love it. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope you're gonna recreate these, because I would love to see, and if you do, tag me again, because I would love to see. And also, if you have any more suggestions of what else you would like to see next, leave them down below, and I'll just, you know, probably do them. Okay, I rambled enough this video. I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.